Hey guys, how's it going? Super exciting. I got my order of David Austin roses in. I ordered these last year, so it has definitely been a long wait for these roses, but I ordered them way too late after they're cut off for them wanting to deliver roses. And us being in a Zone 9, I get to be one of the very first people to get roses delivered to us. And so this showed up the other day, and I've kind of scrapped everything that we needed to do to film me unboxing my David Austin roses. These are the first ones that we'll have in our garden. So I am really excited. So when you first get them, they actually just showed up right to our doorstep, and they came as bare root roses. And it comes with your order information, and it comes with this little care book. And this care book that they give you is absolutely amazing. I wish that more companies would do in-depth care guides for their plants. So what you get is a bag with your roses in them. They are all bare root. Whoa. Super extensive roots, lots of roots. That's wonderful. So 2 of these roses are own root roses, which means that the roots are from the plant. And then one of them, which is this one right here, this is a grafted rose, right? Yeah, this is a grafted rose, which means that the top of the rose is different than the bottom of the rose. The roots are from some other rose with a stronger root system. It just means that this one didn't have a strong root system, and so they graft them onto stronger roots. So this video is pretty simple. I'm just going to go over the 3 that we bought. I wish I bought more, but we don't have space for more. The first one that I bought, this is the Claire Austin. So this is the one that is the grafted rose, and I think that this one is probably going to be one of my favorites. So on roses that are grafted onto different rootstocks, if anything comes up from the roots down here, it'll be whatever the roots are from that rose. It won't be the same as the Claire Austin rose. As long as it comes from above the graft, which is the graft is here and here, then all of this will be the Claire Austin rose. Everything below, if any shoots come out from the ground, it'll be whatever they grafted this on. So the Claire Austin rose is, all of these are like peony style roses. Claire Austin will get anywhere from 8 to 12 feet tall. It's a climber rose, and I think that this one is going to go on our shed, and I'm going to do a wired trellis. The next one that we have is a own root rose, which means that any of these little guys right here, this right here is a, it's not really a sucker, it's just another stalk that's going to come up out of the roses. That will be the Royal Jubilee, which is the one that I did buy. So the top is Royal Jubilee and the bottom is Royal Jubilee. This one I believe gets about 5 feet tall and wide. And the very last one that we got is the Queen of Sweden. This is another one that gets about 4 feet tall and about 2.5 feet wide. So great little rose to be able to tuck in to any of the beds. This one is another one that's on its own roots. This one is one that is a little bit more soft pink, but still has the double blooms, and I liked the shape of the blooms. I don't know why, but it just reminded me of like teacups or something. I don't know. Really excited to get these in the ground. I'm not 100% sure yet where all of these are going. So now that I've got these all unboxed, the very next step is to soak these roses. And it's recommended that you soak them for a minimum of 2 hours up to 24 hours. I'm going to probably soak these guys for about 12 hours. If we have the time, we're going to go do a few other things while these guys are soaking. And then I will dig the holes and get them planted. The roots on these guys are so long. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I don't think it was this. I might have to find a taller bucket. Okay, so I'm going to just top this off with a little more water and then let these soak, and we'll be back for planting. I want to go over this little book that they sent to you. This is the planting guide book, and it has all the information that you're going to need for when you're planting your roses and the care that you need to do the second you get them. So it talks about how you need to soak them, talks about digging your hole, amending it, talks about the tools that you'll need, when to plant, where to plant, talks about the fertilizers that they recommend using, talks about which zone they categorize you as, and it tells you when to do your pruning, your first feed, your second feed, maintenance on it. It gives you exact dates so you know what to do to get the best success out of your roses, which I really, really love. It talks about deadheading, how to water. This thing gives you so much information. It is kind of crazy. And then talks about the different fertilizers that they recommend, which are their own, the best pruners, and then something for dealing with pesticide, or for dealing with pest on your roses, and then a little section for any little notes. So this is going to go in our bookcase with all of our other books for all of our other plants, so that way I have something to reference back to make sure that I am pruning, watering, fertilizing on a right schedule. So these roses have now soaked. It's been 24 hours. It's time to start getting them placed. I had to upgrade the bin to a much larger bin. The roses on these have a really large root system, and so I needed to get them into something that they could actually be fully submerged. So now I need to figure out which roses are gonna go where. So I think that I'm gonna go in with the Royal Jubilee. This is the one that gets the very bright pink blooms that are peony size. And I think that I'm gonna put this guy probably about where this lantern is. So this is gonna need to move. I'm gonna plop this guy in the ground about here. We're gonna dig the hole. That should be good. I went and I picked up some rose tone from Home Depot. I just wanted to make sure that I got something that is very specific for roses. If I only had Biotone, that's what I would use. But because these roses are so expensive, I did want to make sure that I had the right thing on hand for them. So it says mix 3 cups of rose tone. So I'm gonna go in with a couple good size handfuls. I just went in with about 3 cups worth of the rose tone from Espoma to really make sure that I give these roots the best possible chance and that I don't accidentally kill this plant. So what we're gonna do is, because this is an own root, I'm gonna bury it right up to where the green is. So now that I've got the hole deep enough, I'm just gonna backfill with a combination of the Fox Farms Happy Frog potting soil and some of the native soil that we've got here. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Sweden now, and I'm just gonna tuck this guy right here in front of the Italian cypress. Totally forgot that I planted this here. This is a dahlia that just did not perform very well. Not exactly sure why, but it didn't. So I guess I'm digging it up and I'll plant it somewhere else. And then I think there's another one right here. Let's see. Oh, and of course I just sliced them in half. There's the tubers. Killed them, sliced them, whatever. This is the Queen of Sweden. Let's see how she fits. Beautifully. She's gonna be about 4 feet tall, 2.5 feet wide. She's a perfect rose to just tuck into any of the garden beds. So now we have the very last rose, which is the David Austin, Claire Austin Climbing Rose. Really excited about this one. So this is the one that is grafted onto a different rootstock. You can see the graft mark right here. This is the grafting of the rose. So this is a different rootstock than the Claire Austin. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna plant this up to this point here, whereas the other ones we planted up to where the canes were coming out. So this one's gonna get planted nice and shallow, just like this right here. And what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm going to have it face, I'm gonna have these canes face the shed, and I'm gonna have these canes here. I'm gonna train them to grow up over the shed this side, and then these canes to grow up the side of the shed here, giving them support as needed. Guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for visiting our garden, and I'm going to go sit by our little fire now and enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.